leagues which were launched way back in the 60s and 70s when people like my parents would have come to this country. And I know certainly my dad and a lot of the Indian community in Leicester, where we're from, used to just play parks cricket and form their own teams, and a lot of these teams have survived through the years, and even as other players of a higher standard move into club cricket and play the traditional sort of ECB sanctioned Premier divisions and things like that. Parks leagues are still going, but the facilities there are not very good. So it's very difficult for a lot of these players to sort of progress to the next level, and that was part of it as well. The ECB just making sure they've got changing rooms and toilets and things like that, which we take for granted, don't we, playing club cricket? But often you have to you don't have the simple facilities, and it's very difficult. As Yasir Shah comes back into the attack, and Sol just cuts this one away towards the cover boundary for a single. And often as a 12, 13 year old, if you're playing in those conditions, you might well be put off and you might not want to continue your cricket career. So we see Josh Cobb back on strike. He's on 86 now. Yasir Shah comes in, and Cobb just plays this one to backward point. No run. And even things like coaching as well, when players finish their club cricket careers in their mid-30s, 40s, whatever it might be, often they just would give it up. And the ECB wants them to get into coaching, to give a bit back, as Shah comes in. This one driven towards long off for a single to Cobb. So it's just about keeping the South Asian community involved within cricket in the country in all aspects, really.
Yeah, most admirable aim. Hopefully they find some success.
This time shorter from Shah, and punched off the back foot out towards the cover boundary from Sol.
Whether the 100 is something to get them streaming into county grounds is another thing entirely. I don't quite get how, if they don't turn up to watch, say, the population of Birmingham, if they don't already turn up to watch a team who are called Birmingham, have a different identity to Warwickshire.
Shah into Cobb, who launches this towards cow corner, and it's going to be just one bounce, I think. 4 runs. Just a yard inside the rope, that bounce. It was a good pick up from Cobb. Big gap out there towards cow corner. 20 yards or so wide of the long on fielder. Another boundary to Josh Cobb, who moves into the 90s now. 91 not out for the North. Very, very good innings here today.
As he did from this wantage rider, picking up on anything ever so slightly short there to pull it away. Deep mid wicket now goes back to plug that gap.
Comes Shah to Cobb once again. Again short and pulled away towards cow corner. Couple of bounces and then fielded by the long on fielder running round towards his right. And they're through for 2 more runs. 188 for 5 now, Northants. 40 overs gone, and Cobb moves on to 93. Been a good little innings from Tom Sol at the other end, 21.
Have you garnered any opinion at all from the South Asian community about whether the 100's something they might be prepared to give a try?
Do you know what some people are excited about? The fact that there's been a few rumours about MS Dhoni perhaps retiring after this Cricket World Cup. And once he is retired, there's a few rumours that he may well be offered big money to come and play in the 100. He, along with the likes of Yuvraj Singh, who no longer plays for India as well. So if 1 or 2 of those big guns make the journey, then perhaps they may stream in to watch them.
Here's Imad Wasim then, bowling to Tom Sol. He goes back and cuts to deep cover, away to our left-hand side, and they get a single to begin the 41st over here, Northants. 188 for 5 they are, and Cobb is on 93 not out, about to take guard once. Would be a 7th, list a century, his highest score of the season so far here. Imad in, and this is driven away down to long off, and there is a single more. Cobb to 94, 189 for 5. Presumably that would also that would still need BCCI approval, would it?
Not if he retires from international cricket.
Okay.
Because he would no longer be contracted to the BCCI as such. Just watch this delivery from Imad.
It's swept and missed an LBW. Sol has gone. He's just swept across a straight one there. And Imad has a wicket. And Northampton are 189 for 6. And a promising little knock there from Sol comes to an end. He struck that mighty 6 over square leg. Now goes for 22. A few cries of Zinabad Pakistan around the ground again here now. 189 for 6.
Yeah, it was a quicker delivery there from Imad Wasim. Down on one knee was Tom Sol, looking to sweep that one into the leg side and trap plumb in front in the end. But a useful knock from him, 22. Good support for Josh Cobb. It wasn't a boring 22 either, played some good shots in there. Including huge 6 over mid-wicket.
Now Northampton down to the bowlers with Brett Hutton, Nathan Buck and Mohammed Azarullah to come, but Cobb still there on 94. I mean, these Indian players are the golden ticket really to worldwide exposure in the game, because that would just totally open up the Indian television market if Dhoni or Yuvraj were to come over and play in this new competition.
Absolutely, and that's
you
see that whenever Indian players rarely make an appearance for a county. I know Cheteshwar Pujara, for example, has played a few seasons of county cricket, but he's not involved in the white ball formats for India. But whenever the likes of Zahir Khan back in 06, I think it was, and things like that, the Indians do turn up in big numbers to watch their heroes in action. And we saw Virender Sehwag at Leicestershire a number of years back. Shahid Afridi's played a bit of county cricket over the years for various counties, and they do turn these Indians and Pakistanis to watch their heroes in action.
Brett Hutton's the new man, and Hutton is poking forward here in his first appearance of the season, playing out to short third man, and there is no run. Well, now the scoreboard away to our right hand side has decided to change format, and we've got some new statistics over there now. We do know the score, which is good, 189 for 6, as Imad bowls a low full toss, which Hutton moves away to mid-wicket, and there is no run. He's missed first part of Northampton's season with injury, Brett Hutton. But back here, facing Imad Wasim, and looking to flick leg side. Just down the leg side it goes. Wondered if there was a touch of the batsman's pads, but straight through to the gloves of Sarfraz. 190 for 6. No sooner had the scoreboard returned, it's flicked off again to our right as Imad bowls again, and this is driven out to extra cover by Hutton, and the over comes to an end. 41 gone here, 190 for 6 Northants. Josh Cobb on 94 not out. Hutton out here at number 9. Just Buck and Azarullah to come for Northants. Vasconcelos having retired on 1, retired hurt earlier in the innings, has passed the concussion protocol that took place after he left the field, but not going to bat. We understand again. So Cobb here on 94, 1 hit away from what would be a impressive century against a very good Pakistan attack here. Waits for Yazir Shah. He's going to bowl his 9th over from the Wilson end. Right arm over, and Cobb just steadily forward here, covering up, pushing back out towards the bowler's left hand. There's a short third man, a backward point, a deep cover, extra cover, long off, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep square, and then short fine leg. 5 men allowed outside the 30-yard circle here in the final 10 as Cobb pulls out towards deep mid-wicket. As he found the gap? He has. Excellent placement from Josh Cobb. Picks up his 10th boundary. Found the gap between long on and deep mid-wicket, and is now just 2 runs away from a century. Captain for the day here, Cobb. A vital innings. Has found little support from the rest of the order. But on the verge of a century here. Shah from the far end. Cobb forward, struck on the paddle pill for LBW. Umpire has a careful look and says not out. Heart in mouth moment for Cobb, looking to flick leg side. One from Yazir, just skipping past into the front pad, maybe sliding down. He gets away with it.
Big appeal, wasn't it, from Yasir Shah? Looked very, very excited about that, perhaps just sliding down the leg. And Cobb survives, still there on 98.
Shah once again from the far end, quite flat. Oh, and Cobb's bowled, does he know? Well, he was going back to cut and missed, and Sarfraz in the end struck on the hand. The way that Cobb turned round, I thought he was about to walk off. The ball could not have missed the bails by much. He just leapt on Cobb a bit there. Yazir bowls again, and Cobb just carefully forward this time, playing back towards backward point. Babar Azam is there, and there is no run. 1-9-4 for 6 Northants in the 42nd over. Yazir it again, and Cobb just turns this into the onside. They're going to scamper away for, in the end, an easy single, because there's a huge gap there out on the onside in front of himself going across the field, and the over comes to an end. So Cobb will keep the bowling on 99, and Northants 1-9-5 for 6 in the 42nd over. On a pleasant enough day here at Wantage Road. 1 or 2 in, not a massive crowd, but a few enjoying the cricket, enjoying the tourists. On their way up the M1, Beckenham on Saturday, Northampton here today, and then Leicester on Wednesday before the series against England begins at the weekend down in Cardiff. 1-9-5 for 6. Cobb on 99, pushes forward, but only plays back up to extra cover, and the weight goes on. Looking for a straightish ball here, just a nudge single out on the onside. Big out there at square leg. Wasim is in, and this is pushed away through the covers, and Josh Cobb wanders through for a single to go to 100. FM update now for BBC Radio Northampton.
That's 100 for Josh Cobb.
Josh Cobb has just got to his century here for Northamptonshire. Captain for the day, has led his side really well. There's been little support really from the other end. Northants have lost regular wickets, and they're 196 for 6 in the 43rd over here. But Cobb going through to an excellent century really, a high-class Pakistan attack here as they build up for the series against England and then the World Cup to follow that. But Cobb has led Northants well, 100 not out, 7 for 6 in the 43rd over. Back with you online and on Radio 5 Live Sports Extra. Cobb going back here to cut, pushing down towards long off to our left-hand side, and picking up another single, goes to 101. 198 for 6 Northants. Cobb going to a 7th list A century as Hutton here gets a very full delivery that he digs out down the ground and may get a couple of runs as they scamper back here. Now they're just going to settle for 1 as Amir runs to his left-hand side from long on. So Hutton goes to 2, and Northants 199 for 6. Imad in, and Cobb down the pitch, tries to go up and over long off, and has struck it really well up into the Ken Turner stand. What a fine blow that is from Cobb. A shimmy down the wicket, hoisting it way back over long off, and almost takes out a photographer. Away to our left hand side, sat in the front row of the Ken Turner stand, and the photographer now gets up and lobs the ball back over the balcony.
125 balls with 10 fours and 1 6.
Applause there for Josh Cobb's 7th list A 100, and now Nikesh, maybe he'll open his shoulders in the final 7 overs here. 205 for 6 Northants.
I think he has to, and he's certainly seeing the ball very well indeed. The spinner's not really getting much turn from this wicket, so able to just shimmy down the wicket that previous delivery and smack Imad over his head.
Yazir from the far end. Hutton goes back to pull here, just chops it down towards long off, and we'll pick up a single. So Hutton now goes to 3. 206 for 6 in the 44th now here, Northants. Yazir once more, and Cobb playing this as late as possible, can only force it out as far as Barbara Azam at backward point for no run. Cobb settles over his bat once more as Yazir moves in with this great energy of his run-up and bowls just outside the off stump, and Cobb is cutting out to deep cover, round to our right-hand side. And they take just another single, so Cobb to 108, 207 for 6. Yazir now to the number 9 Hutton, who's reverse sweeping here. Caught it fairly well, but straight to Mohammed Amir, short third man on the edge of the 30-yard circle around to our right-hand side. Yazir throws himself a catch, ball back in his right hand, comes in again, and Hutton waits for this and works it into the leg side, out through square leg. And they go through for just a single more. Gentle single taken. Hutton goes to 4, 208 for 6, and the alternative scoreboard is back now away to our right hand side. Yes, we've got some figures over there now, which is good to see. Yazir comes in again, and Cobb goes to pull. This is high in the air out towards mid-wicket, and it's gone way back for 6 more. Big strike from Cobb, hitting with the breeze out towards the covered stand. Hammers Yazir away and goes to 114 at the end of the 43rd over. 214 for 6, Northamptonshire. Cobb striking it well, Nikesh.
Absolutely, that was a big 6, long boundary over there towards deep mid-wicket. And they certainly got all of that. It was dragged short by Yasir Shah. He's done that a couple of times this afternoon. It's generally bowled very well indeed, even though he's not had much purchase from the wicket. Looks like we're going to see some more seam into the attack. Mohammed Hasnain.
Change of bowling from the pavilion end, Mohammed Hasnain.
So changing ends again here, Hasnain, who struck both Vasconcelos and Charlie Thurston on the helmet earlier on. The blow to Vasconcelos so serious he had to go off the ground, but is okay, we believe. But not set to bat again as a precaution with the one-day cup match against Yorkshire coming up on Wednesday. So up goes Hasnain, right arm over, bowls a decent Yorker that's dug out by Hutton to mid-wicket, and there is no run. So 214 for 6, and Northants, with the wickets they've lost really, I suppose, just looking to bat out the overs now. They've only got Buck and Mohammed Azarullah to come.
If it wasn't for Josh Cobb, this innings would have been over a long time ago. Fabulous innings from him, 114 not out still. Can he get Northants up to 250 total perhaps?
Hasnain runs past Cobb and bowls to Hutton, who tries to swing this down the ground, mistimes it. The ball runs only as far as mid-wicket, and there is no run. So Cobb here going to his 7th List A century, his first since 2015. And he made 100 at the racecourse ground in Derby. 104 he made there in a losing cause, if my memory serves me correctly. Indeed, Derbyshire chasing 2-3-2 to win by 7 wickets. And you dare suggest this century may also be in vain as Hasnain goes in, and Hutton, trying to flick leg side, gets beaten. Shuffled a long way outside his leg stump there. Hasnain followed him. Hutton tried to clip it away and missed, and Sarfraz takes it outside his left hip.
Big appeal from Sarfraz as well for a caught behind. No interest from the bowler, Mohammed Hasnain.
Third man long leg, deep square, and in fact there's going to be a change of the field now, is there? Just about. Deep square being moved round to deep mid-wicket towards the groundsman shed to our right. And mid-wicket goes across to square leg, long on, deep point, and third man also out as Hasnain bowls another good Yorker that Hutton can only dig out back up the pitch, and it cannons into the non-striker's end stumps. Good stuff here from Mohamed Hasnain. 19-year-old has come in and bowled quick today. He's been impressive.
He has. His first over was a little bit of a loosener, and he certainly bent his back after that, getting good pace and carry from the wicket. Lots of short stuff early on. Now digging in those Yorkers well as well. Seem to produce a lot of these fast bowlers at very young ages, do Pakistan.
Hasnain charging in again past the umpire, and Hutton works this leg side. There's no square leg now, it's gone round to short fine leg, so a single here to deep square, away to our right hand side, running away from the scoreboard, which now has a bit more information on it because we've got the bowlers' figures out there as well, which we didn't on the other format of that big screen. So they've been tinkering around, it appears, in the scorer's box today.
And Yasir Shah, 61 runs conceded from his 10 overs. He was quite expensive at the weekend as well.
Hasnain goes up again past the umpire and bowls a back of a length ball to Cobb, who tries to dab it down out on the leg side and gets struck on the glove there. The ball falls to earth a couple of yards away from the bat, and the over comes to an end. So a really good set there from Mohamed Hasnain, who has bowled, as we've been saying, impressively so far today. 45 gone, and Northants 215 for 6. Cobb 140 not out has led Northants through the innings. Yeah, he goes here on Saturday at Beckenham, 10 overs, 3 for 90 in the end, so it was expensive. Here is what Pakistan will hope is only a stopgap before Shadab Khan can return to full health and rejoin the squad, but he's flown back home for treatment.
As we see Mohamed Amir back into the attack, a change of ends from him. Last 5 overs of this innings then, Northants 215 for 6, Josh Cobb 114 not out. Fabulous innings from him. Brett Hutton at the other end, unbeaten on 5. So Josh Cobb, am I right in thinking he's been here since 2014? Is that his first season at Northants?
2015 was his first season, yeah. Yeah, he arrived just after that Annus Horribilis in 2014. Northants.
Correction, change of bowling, Junaid Khan.
Didn't win a game in Division 1 and bombed out horribly in both the white ball competitions as well. It sparked a bit of a clear out. Alex Wakely was appointed club captain, replacing Stephen Peters. A couple of the senior players left, David Sales, who's now the batting coach, being one of those, and Cobb, one of a number of faces brought in to initially try to rebuild with a focus on the white ball game.
And he came from another county with a horrible record in those times as well. Hasn't improved too much since then. Slightly better for Leicestershire, of course, but Cobb, one of the mass clear out at Grace Road at that time as well, as Junaid Khan comes into the attack now. And this one just clipped round the corner and a misfield at short fine leg, and it's going to be 4 runs there to Hutton. Terrible bit of fielding there on the edge of the circle. Here's Mohamed Hasnain there with his woolly hat on.
Oh dear.
Comical stuff.
Why are they so bad?
And it was a no ball, so it's going to be a free hit as well.
Terrible cricket all round.
Yeah.
Why are these Pakistanis never ever very good at fielding? Do they not teach fielding in Pakistan, or they do not see it as a required skill?
Absolutely no idea. I mean, certainly
bizarre,
the players
isn't it?
look a lot fitter nowadays.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be diving around as much. I don't know if the colder weather here in the early part of the English season has anything to do with that. As Junaid comes in for this free hit and gives himself some room, Hutton, and playing a miss. Moved over to the leg side there. He's asking for the wide, but he was way down the leg side when he tried to play that over the offside. And it's straight through to Sarfraz, and they get away with a dot ball on the free hit.
Yeah, they've gone to that short ball for the free hits quite well so far.
So the short fine leg moves down towards a square leg. It's going to be Junaid into Hutton once again. This one short and pulled away towards cow corner, and it's going to beat the fielder at mid-wicket. 4 runs, good placement there from Brett Hutton, good contact as well. Straight off the middle of the bat. There's 4 more runs to Hutton and Northants, so 224 for 6 now in the 46th over. Hutton moves on to 13.
Very nicely struck. A little agricultural, but timed nicely.
A big gap on the leg side towards mid-wicket, just the square leg inside the circle on the leg side. Now the deep mid-wicket fielder moving slightly straighter towards cow corner as Junaid comes into Hutton once again. Again short, but a slower, shorter delivery. And a play and a miss from Hutton. That was well bowled.
Yeah, it was. Just rolled his fingers across it. Hutton looking to slap away into a similar region. This time Junaid gets one through.
So Hutton on 13, Cobb at the other end, 114 for him. Junaid comes in once again to Hutton, again short, and he loses his bat in the end. In fact, he's broken his bat. He's still got his handle in his hand. But the rest of the bat face flies over towards mid-wicket and is picked up by Hasnain, who hands it back to Hutton, who's going to have to call for a change of bat here. He was looking to pull that one away towards cow corner, ended up scooping it over the bowler's head. They run through for a single, and lots of giggles in the crowd as well as Brett Hutton calls out for a new bat.
I don't think I've seen that before. I've seen plenty of bats breaking and plenty of players just losing the bat completely as they go through for a shot. But the handle completely coming away from the bat there.
Yeah, still in his hands as he was running through for the single as well.
It was like he was suddenly in the 4x400 metre relay with the bat on his hand as he went through for the run.
Right, change of bat. And it's going to be Josh Cobb on strike, 114 not out. So Northants 225 for 6 now in the 46th over. And they get up and beyond the 250 mark from here on in. In comes Junaid to Cobb. This one Fallen's hit straight back over his head, dispatched over the sight screen, into the sight screen in fact. 6 runs. It was a very full delivery there from Junaid Khan, and Cobb not coming down the wicket towards the ball, just rocking back in his crease and lofting it straight back over the bowler's head for 6 runs. Beautiful timing there once again.
Yeah, much better struck than I first thought. Didn't make a great sound, I didn't think, off the bat there. I thought it was going straight up in the air, but it was actually a very nicely timed stroke down the ground.
So what response does Junaid have? He's in here to Cobb. This one full and driven through the covers. 4 more runs. This time all the way along the carpet. It was a wide, low full toss, and Cobb giving himself some room, moving his front foot out of the way, beating the extra cover fielder straight into the boundary for 4 more runs. So the Pakistani bowlers taking a bit of tap here towards the back end of the innings.
This is just what Northants would have wanted from Cobb here today. Finding a bit of form, has really struggled so far in the One-Day Cup, but this is now his 3rd highest list A score. And not too far to go to bring up a career best either.
124 not out at the moment. 4 more overs remaining after this. So Junaid in once again to Cobb. Again full and driven over backward point. It's 6 runs. Wow, he was down on one knee there. It was Cobb looking to drive through the covers, lofted it in the end over backward point and over the boundary rope for 6 more runs. So an expensive over there once again from Junaid Khan. He's conceded 54, I think it is, from his 8 overs so far. That's 46 overs gone. That's 242 for 6.
Josh Cobb's 5th maximum now, and it's now his second highest score. So he's now only got to get past the 137 he made for Leicestershire back in 2012 when he was bursting onto the scene, and that great couple of years where 5 of his now 7 list day hundreds came. The first 2 years of his career already, 2012 and 2013, but the 100 he made for Leicestershire against Lancashire, 137, remains his career best, possibly until today.
So Mohammed Amir back into the attack. Into Hutton, who plays and misses outside the off stump, looking to slay that one through the offside. Yeah, had a fabulous start to his career, Josh Cobb, down at Leicestershire. His dad was a coach there for many years in the academy, coached me, Russell Cobb.
You still see him around now and again.
Yep. Still has an association with Kibworth Cricket Club,
yeah,
there, just up the road from here as well. So Amir comes into Hutton, who slays this backward of point. It's fielded eventually. They jog through for a single. So into the 47th over. That 250. Looks like it definitely will happen. 243 for 6. Can they get up to the 270 mark now? That would be a competitive score. So Amir comes in to Josh Cobb. Fall and driven uppishly over mid-off. And is it going to have enough legs to go for 6? Yes, it is. Just over the rope down at long off. No long off fielder in place. And that's another maximum to Josh Cobb, who moves to within 1 of his all-time highest list A score. He's on to 136. Northants 249 for 6 now.
Another excellent strike from Cobb. It's back to his best here now. Great striking.
Again, it didn't look as though he timed that one too well. Had enough legs to make it over the boundary once again. Amir into Cobb again. This one wide and full. Left alone by Cobb, who was looking to give himself some room towards the leg side. Amir just pushing that one wide of the off stump. Still the fielder at mid-off, inside the circle. Hasn't been pushed back onto the boundary as of yet. So Amir comes into Cobb once again. Again full, and this one inside edge down towards fine leg. They're looking for 2. And they make it quite comfortably in the end. And that is the highest score for Josh Cobb in List A cricket. He moves on to 138, and that's the 250 for Northants as well. 250 for 6, effectively 7 in the 47th over. It's been a very good recovery indeed, led by Josh Cobb. In comes Amir to Cobb again. This one wide and full. Reaching for it outside his off stump was Cobb, but it's not signalled wide, and that's the end of the 47th over. Northants 251 for 6. Cobb on to 138.
Yeah, this innings keenly appreciated, I'm sure, by the Northants balcony. Career best here for Cobb. He'll be getting the drinks in either later today or later in the week when they gather in the bar. Still keep the old traditions going here at Northants. Career best effort. You get the drinks in. Well, he's played well. He could have been run out earlier on. Called through for a single that was never there really by Ben Curran, but survived. Hasn't given a chance. Played the mist a couple of times early on, but hasn't given a chance. Been a fine effort, a welcome return to form for him. His form has been poor really in the Royal London Cup so far.
And he was a bit twitchy early on. You could tell he was a man out of form, but he stuck it out through those early overs. It was difficult going against the likes of Amir and Junaid Khan early up with the new ball. Junaid Khan continuing now to Hutton. Full and driven down towards long on for a single. It's interesting to see how many sort of full-length Yorker deliveries these days are dispatched by the batsman, because, you know, in years gone by, Yorker was a good delivery. Nowadays, the batsmen rocking onto their back foot, well inside the crease, batting deep in their crease, clearing their front foot out of the way. It could almost be a bad delivery at times. As Junaid comes into Cobb this time, who drives this away to deep cover for another single.
I still think a good Yorker is the best delivery at the death. If a fella's going to get down on one knee and paddle sweep you over the keeper, I think you've just got to put your hands up and say, well bowled.
You do see a lot more slower balls bowled towards the death now, rather than the traditional Yorkers. Junaid comes in to Hutton this time. Again full and driven down the ground towards long off for another single. 3 Yorkers to start this over, this 48th over of the innings from Junaid Khan. He's been expensive today, 62 runs conceded midway through his 9th over. Cobb back on strike to Junaid, again full and just squeezed out into the offside for another single. Good bowling so far in this over from Junaid Khan. 4 Yorkers, 4 singles. Cobb moves on to 140 with that. Junaid in once again to Hutton this time, who flicks that down towards fine leg. He moved over to the offside. Junaid Khan followed him, but Hutton getting the ball on the full and just flicking it round the corner, beating the short fine leg fielder and all the way along the ground for 4 runs.
Delicate touch from Hutton.
Absolutely.
He's a big fella, he can strike a good ball, but showing a different side of his game there. Very nicely steered away.
And he moves on to 21. So Josh Cobb has had some very good support from the lower order batsmen here. Tom Sole with 22 and now Brett Hutton 21. When Sole made his way to the crease, it looked as though the innings could have been over very quickly, as Junaid comes in, this time a full toss and a play and a miss outside the off stump to finish off that 48th over. Northants 259 for 6. Very good knock indeed from Hutton. Good support for Cobb, as I mentioned. So 2 overs remaining in this Northants innings. 259 the total.
Well, at least they've got something on the board here. It looked as if they could fade away for a very paltry total, but Josh Cobb has just made the Pakistani bowlers work here, and they will have something to work with in the second innings as well.
I think if they have a good couple of overs here, get up to 275, 280 even, I think that'll be fairly competitive. Amir comes in to Cobb, who drives uppishly towards mid-off. 1 bounce to the fielder, Ahmad Wasim there. It's a dot ball.
Yeah, Worcestershire put up its exact total. Sorry, 254 they made on Friday, and it was enough to win. Northants made a complete Horlicks of the chase. But on this same wicket, Northants made 358 the match before.
Yeah, again full outside the off stump to Cobb, who leaves it alone.
It's a few times now he's let balls go across him, that he thinks are going to be wide, but Amir has got them just inside the guideline every time. It's been excellent stuff.
Yeah, and Cobb stuck in his crease, just a slight shimmy towards the leg side as well, so Amir making sure he gets it out of reach of the batsman. As he comes into Cobb once again, another full delivery, squeezed out to the sweeper on the offside boundary for a single. This is where Mohammed Amir and Junaid Khan can be so good, but can also be very inconsistent when it comes to death bowling. On their day, as good as anyone in the world, and I suppose that sums up Pakistani cricket really. Can beat the best of the best on their day. As Amir comes in, another full delivery, straight to extra cover, no run.
Yeah, there's plenty of firepower in this squad, isn't there? Like you say, it's just a case of it all coming together at the same time. And with the World Cup as it is, long group stage, everyone plays everybody in the 10-team format, with the top 4 qualifying for the semi-finals. There is a chance to, and if you do start slowly, a chance to get yourself together and progress.
Comes Amir again outside the off stump, and a wild play and a miss from Brett Hutton there, looking for a lofted shot over the offside. He was hopping around on one foot, and in the end a play and a miss. I think he was expecting a fuller delivery there. That one just short of a length from Mohammed Amir. Amir into Hutton once again. This one is full and outside the off stump and will be signalled wide. He's dragging it a bit too wide this time, Amir.
There's always from that party across from us now as well, down by the Wilson stand. Some young Pakistani supporters over there.
.261 for 6 now, Northants. Into the 49th over, 1 ball remaining in it. Amir into Hutton, full and driven down towards mid-off, and they jog through for a single. So Hutton retains strike for the final over. It's been a valiant effort after a nightmare start for Northants today, losing Richard Levy off the very first ball of the match, dragging one onto his stumps from Mohammed Amir. And a slight recovery through Ben Curran and Josh Cobb. Once Curran went for 23. There was a slight fumble in the middle order, but Josh Cobb has held it all together. 141 not out. Northants captain today as well, Cobb. Brett Hutton has batted well at the other end as well so far for his unbeaten 22. 1 over remaining in the innings. Can they get up and beyond the 270?
They've done well. No significant score lower down the card, but just a couple of contributions. Thurston and Sol have stuck around with Cobb for long enough.
Here comes Junaid Khan to Hutton, who slays this out towards cow corner. It's going to beat the fielders there. One bounce into the ropes. It was a low full toss, and it was just stand and deliver from Brett Hutton. Another boundary to him. He moves on. Northants 266 for 6.
Can never understand why they'd never just put the fieldsman out at cow corner. Tail end batsman is just going to swing from the hip here, and the most likely area he's going to hit into is going to be directly at cow corner. They do have a deep mid wicket out there, but it's going to go. Tractor, as that a couple of balls have done now. Leave the man there.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few play through that region.
Yeah.
From Brett Hutton, and still the gap between the fielders there as Junaid comes in to Hutton once again, and again pulled into the leg side, this time a shorter delivery towards deep mid wicket for a single. So Josh Cobb back onto strike. 4 balls remaining in the innings. Northants 267 for 6. Josh Cobb 141 not out. Shout of 6 and a 4 Cobby from the crowd.
I think he's after 4 sixes, to be honest.
Well, he'd love dearly, I think, to get up to the 150 mark. First time he would have done that in list day cricket. In comes Junaid to Cobb, who gives himself some room and plays this beautifully over the third man. 4 runs, 1 bounce into the rope. There's no third man fielder, there's a short third man inside the circle, and a backward point in the ring as well. Played it beautifully over the heads of those two, and 1 bounce into the rope. So he moves on to 145 does Cobb, and that is the 270 up, 271 for 6. 3 balls remaining still in this Northants innings.
I'm not entirely sure what the bowler's trying to do here, because, well, I think they are going to send the third man back now, are they? Well, deep square's going back now, and mid-wicket's coming up. Is third man going to go back? They need 1 more in the circle here. Is fine leg going to come up? He is. So this is a better field. Well, no, I was about to say it was a better field for fuller bowling, but with mid-wicket up, I don't think it is. You saw there, full delivery, it's just sliced away, no one at home at third man. Well, I'm not entirely sure what the plan is here.
Junaid round the wicket this time to Cobb, fallen outside the off stump and played to the third man fielder for a single, and that is a no ball signalled as well. So overstepping once again Junaid Khan. He's done it a couple of times today when he's changed from over to round the wicket, not getting his run up quite right, and it's an unnecessary free hit from a Pakistan point of view. Very welcome if you're a Northants supporter.
Quite a few no balls in this innings.
Free hit signalled.
Could do with just sharpening up. I suppose it is early days in the tour, but you do feel the Pakistanis are going to have to just sharpen. Really competitive later in the summer. It's the 5th no ball they've sent down.
Here comes Junaid round the wicket for this free hit into Hutton, full and driven towards mid-off, and it's going to be a dot ball for the free hit, so he got away with that one.
And I'd like to take a while to check, but I'd like to see what's become of all the free hits today, because they've either gone short and gone sailing through with balls around head height, or very full there, just plunked away towards mid-off. But I doubt many runs have been scored from the free hits that Northants have had.
In comes Junaid to Hutton, back around the wicket again full, well bowled. Good Yorker length there, just dug out by Hutton.
Yeah, and it's much better field now as well, because you know he's going to bowl very full with the long on out and deep mid-wicket out to just save that Hoik leg side. And if Hutton does get a bit of an edge, there's protection back at third man and long leg as well, and deep cover is that. So now there's a bit more of a plan about this field.
Junaid into Hutton again, who gives himself a lot of room down the leg side. He was almost off the strip there, and lets it go through to the keeper. And that is the end of the Northants innings. And a good effort in the end from Northants. 273 for 6. Josh Cobb top scoring by a very long way indeed. 146 not out for him. Brett Hutton finishes unbeaten on 27. It's been a mixed bowling performance from the Pakistani bowlers. Certainly early on it was some very good stuff from the likes of Mohammad Amir and Junaid Khan opening up the bowling, but they took a bit of tap later on in the inning. 9 overs, 1 for 41. Junaid Khan conceding 79 from his quota of overs. Mohammad Hasnain bowled pretty well, 1 for 30 from his 7. Imad Wasim 1 for 38 from his 9, 1 for 61. And Harris Sahel, just the 5 overs for him, 1 for 18 as well. Josh Cobb, as I mentioned, 146 not out off 145 balls in the end. Really upped the scoring rate towards the end of his innings. 6 sixes and 12 boundaries for him. By far the best performer there. Ben Curran made a decent contribution at the top of the order, 23. Thurston with 25, Sol 22, and Brett Hutton an unbeaten 27 from 30 deliveries at the end as well. So I think Off the very first ball of the match, Northampton will be pretty pleased with their effort in the end. 273 for 6. Pakistan will need 274 for victory when they get their reply underway in a little while. But for now, during this lunch interval, we can hear the World Service Programme Stumped, which continued their count.